Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Just got back from my run with Jason this morning over at Bradgate Park in Leicester. So I'd got quite a bit of footage on the way there actually, just a bit of chitter chatter in the car and things, but I noticed halfway through my run, for some reason the GoPro needed to reformat the card, so I've lost a bit of footage from today, which I'm a bit gutted about really, as there's some really good sort of views from the top of some of the hills at Bradgate Park, so a bit gutted about that. I've got some clips, so hopefully I can piece a few bits together for you. But yeah, so drove across this morning, got up pretty early, about 6:30 this morning, had some breakfast, left about 7:30 and drove across over to Bradgate, which is probably about an hour 10 from me. The traffic was pretty good this morning, early hours, so it was a bit longer on the way back, but Jason lives pretty local to the area, so knows it well. And basically we followed one of the fell courses, the 14-mile fell course race that I think Charnwood put on, if I remember rightly. So 14-mile loop, so we parked on one of the back streets, ran through some fields up into Bradgate, up over, I think it's Old John Hill or John T. So beautiful sort of views there across Leicestershire, sort of overlooking Loughborough and places. So really nice. Had a really good run. We did, I think, 14.7 mile in the end. A bit quicker than what I'd normally do on a Sunday, to be fair. Good minute and a half quicker pace than what I would normally run on the trails around here. I think some of that was quite dry today. Some of it was more trails than sort of fields and things that I tend to run on a lot of ploughed fields. So it was quite good to get a good move on. Especially, well, yesterday I'd done a really hard sort of bike session, sort of a 2-hour session with 7 sort of 10-minute efforts. I think around sort of 265 watts, so just under sort of my FTP really of 285, 290. So yeah, so it was a good session yesterday on the bike. So my legs were a bit tight today. So yeah, but we had a good run. We had a really good chat. I know Jason, through sort of running a lot of from running back in the day, and also from sort of a lot of the age group duathlons that we do. So Jason was out at the Worlds last year and numerous ones prior to that as well, and races for Race Rapid over in Leicestershire as well. So yeah, so I've got a bit of footage from today, not quite as much as I wanted, but you'll sort of get an idea of the terrain and stuff that we're running on. A little bit more rocky as well than perhaps where I run. There's a few sort of like areas that are quite shingly and quite a lot of rocks coming out, but really enjoyable. Probably I would say Bradgate around that area is probably the hilliest part of Leicester. Leicester's pretty flat, to be fair. So it was great to get out on the hills in Leicestershire, and I haven't been to Bradgate Park since I was a kid. Snow sort of sledging in the snow back in the day, probably 30 odd years ago. So really enjoyed the change of scenery. I think that was good to mix it up and go somewhere different. And like I say, an hour or so in the car isn't too far either. So completely different place to run on. So we had a good chat about training, just seeing what each other's up to, what races we've got coming up. Jason's racing the Midlands next weekend, and then he's got a few sort of duathlons. I think he'll be going down to the standard distance at Alton Park as well in March, which is the British Champs. So look forward to catching up with him again there. But all in all, really good run, good pace, and loads of people out today as well. I think because there's a fell race coming up in a few weeks, it was really good to see loads of people running, I think just testing the course, and also to see, and I can never pronounce his surname correctly, but Ben Dykstra, the triathlete as well. We saw him today out running on his own. I know he does a lot of training with Alex Yee, but he was out on a long run himself, going in the opposite direction, thank God, so he didn't come flying past us, but I think he looked like he was running pretty steady, to be fair. So he'd either just started or he was just off for a long, steady run today. So great to see him out on the trails. I know he's been injured for a while, so it's good to see him out running. And Jason was telling me, because it's so close to Loughborough, you used to see a lot of the Loughborough lads and girls out training in and around Bradgate. I think his best claim to fame was Paula Radcliffe a few years ago now, but she was been out training in and around that area. But like I said, there's a lot of Loughborough lads and lassies that train over those over the hills and through the park. But like I said, really good to see Jason. Hopefully going to try and get over and do a couple more runs with him as well. Obviously not every week, but it'd be good to try and get out there and do a few more runs with him. Yeah, so see what you think of some of the shots that I've got coming up. Hopefully you enjoy them. Like and subscribe as always. And I'm hopefully going to do a couple of kit reviews as well coming up. One of those being a review on a sort of a cheap helmet that I had to buy last week when I was in the Cotswolds, just so because I've got my helmet on the way. So I'm going to try and post that up in the week as well, just a cheap and cheerful review of this Abbas helmet that I bought for about 40 quid when I was in the Cotswolds last week, which surprised me on actually what you can get for 40 quid these days. So I'll try and post that up later in the week as well. But have a good training week, everyone. I'm into my second week of my 3rd week block before my recovery week, so big week next week. Really looking forward to it. And keep training hard, everyone. Look forward to seeing you all on the start line. And like I said before, like and subscribe.
Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they drag the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race.